and welcome to Group 1's podcast today, live from Lucan Community College. On today's show, we're going to talk about movie review, music, sport and Netflix review. And first up is movie review. Take it away.
My name is Roisin, and today I'll interview Patricia on a movie she has seen recently. So what was the last movie you've seen?
I went to see The Joker in View Cinema in Liffey Valley.
And what was the storyline behind the movie?
The story was on how he was affected mentally and physically in his early life and how he became the Joker.
What was your favourite scene in the movie?
My favourite scene in the movie was when he puts his hands in his mouth, and to make him smile you can see him really struggling mentally and physically to stay together and not fall apart.
So is it really dark and disturbing?
Yeah, it is, but it's for mature audiences, which makes it better. I don't think they should have made it more kid friendly because you can see the storyline there more and you can see how the actors feeling and all.
So you'd recommend it to like mature audiences?
Yeah.
What would you rate it out of 10?
I'd rate it 10 out of 10. It was really good.
And would you go see it again?
Yeah, it was really entertaining.
That was great. Thanks for that. Might go see it myself. And next up is the soccer show.
Jack, what do you think about Man United this season? Is Ole the right man?
Too right, he's the right man for the job because he doesn't have his own players. Yeah, because he's only had one transfer window. He needs to get his own players in. He needs the backing from the board. The board don't back him enough. They're an absolute disgrace. They're shocking. They all need to just walk away.
Glazers, is it?
Glazers need to sell the club, get a new chief executive. Woodward's disgraceful. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't help at all. Just sits there and gets his paycheck at the end of every week.
Darren, what do you think about City this season? Do you think they'll win the league?
As it stands now, we could have potentially win the league, but if we don't get shafted by Vieira, referees, linesmen, yes, we could win the league, but as of now, maybe not, because Liverpool outbottled us, and
I think we can all agree we all hate Liverpool here.
Yes, we do. We hate Liverpool with a passion. Thank you.
City last season, even City got lucky against West Ham, actually, when Bernardo Silva dived and it was 1-0. I think West Ham can get Europa League. We were only 5 points off it last season and with a much worse squad. And we didn't have Lanzini wasn't fit all season, Yarmolenko wasn't, and we still got 52 points, only 5 off Wolves, and Wolves are supposed to be the really good team. We could have made up those points with those injuries.
Actually, first of all, we came after a Chelsea Cup final, so obviously City weren't the best. But at the end of the day,
that doesn't change anything, though, does it?
Yeah, but like still, we were the better team. At the end of the day,
no, it was a dive. It was 1-0. It should have been 0-0.
Okay, but Andy Kirk could have scored. So
so we should have won.
No, he wouldn't. It was never a dive. Actually, it was. VAR, we would have called.
With VAR, West Ham will win the league.
Well, actually, you're wrong. With VAR, West Ham were actually relegated. He's been shafted by VAR. So, how do you feel?
We should have. Last season, I wanted VAR in, but this season, it's shafted us this season.
Let me put a quote, and I quote: West Ham will win the league with VAR. So, opinions of VAR actually this season?
Not good. Yeah, we'll see at the end of the season, Darren Mullen.
Yeah, end of the season relegation.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening to Soccer Show. We'll be back next week for more.
Thanks for that. Next up we have the Netflix review. What are you watching on Netflix? Nothing, I finished it. Okay, take it away.
Welcome to the Netflix review. First today we have a question. On average, how much time do you think you spend watching Netflix per day?
Around 1 to 3 hours on my phone, just passing the time trying to watch shows like Breaking Bad and Bad Men.
What shows do you think you watch most often?
I'm starting to watch the Marvel shows like Daredevil and Punisher, stuff like that, and Breaking Bad too. It's pretty good, and Better Call Saul, a spin-off show. And I watched the Breaking Bad movie El Camino. It's decent, but Breaking Bad's better.
How many hours do you think you've spent altogether on Netflix?
Oh God, hundreds probably. I spend a lot of my free time watching it on YouTube as well, so.
That's all for today, thanks, bye.
That lad needs to get out more. And next up is the music show.
Start off, tell me, what type of music do you guys like? I listen to every type of music, but I really don't like country music. And how come?
Because I feel like each and every country song has the same theme and it's just repetitive, so there's nothing new about it.
So it's kind of just like the same thing being repeated over and over again.
Exactly.
So what type of genre would you like?
I like loads of genres. One of my favorite genres is probably music from musicals.
And what would be your favorite musical or your favorite soundtrack?
One of my favorite musicals is probably Hamilton, and the soundtrack is actually just amazing.
Would you like to give a sample of the soundtrack?
No.
Okay. So tell me, what type of music do you listen to?
I listen to all types of music as well, except for like country. But one of the main genres I'd listen to is probably foreign music, since I am Lithuanian myself.
So how did you come to find this genre?
Well, since I'm Lithuanian, I kind of grew up with it every time I went over. So like it was just playing on the radio, so I got into it that way.
So who would be your favorite artist, like from music?
So translated, exactly the name of the band would be The 8 Room, and their song Going Insane.
And do you know anything about them?
I mean, in Lithuania, kind of like we have our own X Factor and The Voice, so that's kind of where they get all their publicity. They kind of work hard and make it big from there if they're good enough.
So that's great.
Bye! And that's the Group 1 podcast for this week. Thanks for listening.